Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Invictus Racing League's F1 division. My name is Webbo. I'm here to take you through this next round of the championship, and welcome back if you are joining us after a long break. We've had a whole week off from Invictus. I hope everyone enjoyed their break, but welcome, and we are here courtesy of Grid Rival, Nailcut Hall, Driver61 and GridFinder.com. And welcome one and all to you guys coming along, and hi to Ghost, Smoke and Richard who join us in the live chat already. Do let us know who you're here to support. I know that Smoke and Ghost are here purely for research purposes for their race coming up further later in the week, tomorrow night particularly, and of course if they are going to do Thursday night realistic performance as well. I will take you through the championship standings very shortly. I must just give an apology for the lack of Lightning tonight. Lightning is unwell at home, so do send him a message and wish him well if you can, because we sorely miss our friend Lightning, and of course the curse of the Lightning on board joining, which provides a great deal of enjoyment for many of us, I know. Although not any of the drivers. Well, on the championship standings, of course, this is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix round, but Max leads our championship. Max leads it by he's on 91 points with 2 wins, 2 second places and 2 third places. Tremendous performance so far in the league. But he leads from Helm, who has 4 wins, 1 second and 3 DNFs. So he's very much been the Verstappen of this season, I suppose you would say, winning most of the races that he's actually finished or taken part in. Speed Queen is in 3rd place with 4 third places herself on 66 points. Then we have Yella, who has yet to win, on 48 points. Reshka has a single second place, but points finishes every race so far, and is in 5th place on 46 points, and Living Wall is on 43 points in 6th place. Delange has a single 3rd place to his name and is in 7th. Then Ghost, Bakker, Warislander make out your top 10, with Burmeister, perennial fan favourite, who is currently lying just outside the top 10 with just 4 points finishes so far this season. With 2 of the drivers in the top 3, the natural assumption, of course, would be that Alpine are the championship leaders in the constructors. That would be they were on 157. Apparently lost the ability to broadcast right now, so if you can still hear me, do let me know. But unfortunately, that is able to join the session. Big thanks to Matty for providing an invite late into the session already. He's obviously got the stream on and listening out for me. Let's wait to see what we've got. Hopefully I'll be able to get you into the session. Here we go, fantastic. We are back, and one very rare thing, and that is a session able to rejoin. It looks like we've got times out there for Helm and Yella on 1st and 2nd positions, 127.279 and a 127.553, with Ghost, who is racing tonight for F1. Slightly a bit of a surprise for me there to see him, but we'll join championship leader Max in the Alpine. As I just get my screen all organised once again, I have to reset it all, but thankfully we held the stream, so that's good news. And thanks to Keza, who says hello, Rickert, who's here for Burmeister. Oh, and an invalidation from Max, unfortunately. Very easily done here in Saudi Arabia. These are almost just painted surface curbs before he reaches turn 13. I think that might have been turn 11. He just overstepped the line of the track limit. Some arbitrary white paint and some red and white stripes. No real surface to speak of. Some of these curbs. Skipper says woohoo, which is good to hear. And Smoke lets me know that Ghost is here. Of course, Whale. Late season joiner here, and he's just finishing out the lap. We'll join a car on a proper hot lap shortly. Apologies for that problem. Sorry, Ghost. I've obviously been away too long from the league to have made a mistake. So apologies, my friend. Whale then for the line. He's in 12th position currently. Gets up to 10th on the slowest set time of 29.5. But on the medium tyres, the soft tyres are very much the way to go out here. And we'll join Speed Queen, our third placed championship contender right now, yet to have a win. She sets her first time on medium tyres. It's a 1:28.959, and there we go. It is a problem, I'm afraid, Ghost and Smoke, of commentating over both divisions and having a week off, as well as a very, very busy weekend that I've had commentating. If you do want to find out about my weekend's exploits, you can of course follow me on Twitter. That's at WebORed5, and you'll see what I was up to this weekend. Safe to say, I was burning the candle at both ends to fulfil all the requirements placed upon me. Matty is going off track slightly, but managing to feather the throttle a little bit. And heading towards that famous turn 13 at the 1/2 point of the track. He's got himself obviously a good first sector, but the purple lap sector is flattering to deceive slightly. Keza said Livingwall did it Verstappen on the final corner. We'll never forget that, will we? That apparent greatest lap that never was. Yes, so of course the wall hasn't been moved on this iteration of the game as it has in actually the 22 season. Matty then just riding the absolute limits of the curbs and track limits, but he's staying valid all the way through, and he's in the DHL section, the final section of the track, and coming up to that turn 27, final turn. When do you put the power down on? You have to put it on in faith that you can get the car gripping in. He might get a little toe off the back of Speed Queen there. Takes the shortest possible route to the line, and it's a P10 29.0. But Helm still holding the lead there and heading out on an outlap, and he's certainly leading the way. Max down in 13th, still yet to set a time, and will join our championship contender. Of course, he had that issue on his first lap. Ivan Belov Karakov says hi everyone, and he says how many safety cars today. Well, yeah, it's very wise to ask us about the predictions. I'm remiss because I haven't even asked anybody for their predictions yet. We hit 25 comments already, only a few minutes into the stream. There's 8.5 minutes just about left before the checkered flag falls, and Max is on his outlap. Very important we pay attention to what Max is up to, as of course he is the main championship contender right now. Smoke says 1 safety car. Rents says 2. Rents usually a fount of wisdom in the chat, probably with the highest prediction points going across first F1 and F2. Very faithful audience member is Rents. Max then takes to the first corner, one of the slowest corners on the track, with the tightest angles to try and get an exit through turn 2, and then it's all about careful management of speed, risk versus reward. He cuts right across the turn 4 and into 5 and 6, and then it's just very much kind of Yahoo left right going on here, over the curbs, threading the needle. DRS open as we get down to the highly banked turn 13 and see what the car can do in terms of grip. He's on the soft tyres now, taking it very wide and high on the way out. That means he was carrying a lot of speed through here. Ivan Karakov saying this race should have been at night. Well, it will be day to night. The lights are on the outside of the circuit, so dusk is setting during this qualifying session. Should be night race 1 by the time we get there. And Max then just one more really difficult corner to navigate now as he approaches the braking zone here. Then it's skip over the curb to try and stay within track limits. He manages it down to the Expo, followed by the DHL section with the advertising hoardings as a long turn 25, 26, and into the final hairpin of turn 27. Good overtaking point later in the race, and Max then hits the gas and away then towards the line. What can Max do on this, his first valid lap? Max straight up to P2. It is a 27.515, just slightly ahead of Yella, Helm's teammate. Helm is though about to cross the timing beam on the start-finish stripe, flirting with track limits on the way through. Gets a 005 improvement, and it's a 27.274. Some good distance ahead of everybody else on the circuit. And it looks like Yella is actually on quite a slow lap at the moment. Must have bailed on this particular one. Let's see what Reshka's doing in the Williams. Yella tells me that he managed to banish the ghost of the poor F1 Monaco performance with a strong Williams win in the realistic performance. So he's very happy about that. Reshka gets a half a second improvement up to P5, but nothing further. Let's see what Prix is doing. He's invalidated, sadly. And Whale once again in the Haas, another invalidation. I think we might see a lap coming up soon. Though I think everybody else might be heading towards an in lap here. Rents says the drivers were in need of a break, and he actually prefers Singapore. And Ivan says he's just planning to be the lobby host tomorrow, so making sure that everything's right. I must just take you through once again, because we got cut off, didn't we? Alpine lead the Constructors' Championship on 157 from Mercedes on 122, far and away the leading two, followed by Red Bull, though, on 71 points, a little bit out on their own by Williams, in fourth on 58 points, and Alfa Romeo is on 35 points at the moment. But we're only about halfway through our season, so plenty of time for people to sort that out. Matty tells me we're going to have dry or overcast conditions, so it should be a nice, clean, strategic, fair fight. However, the constant threat of the safety car, as has already been pointed out in the live chat, and Rent says you can never catch a breath here. And Ghost says it's very, very close if we ignore Helm. Yeah, definitely within a 0.2 of a second comes second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth places. Max, Yella, Ghost, Reshka and Else. Taking Else, that is. And then a bit of a gap out to Burmeister right now. And we see what Prix can do. Speed Queen, though, is on a lap. So let's join Speed Queen. Have we got any fans of Speed Queen in the live chat? Do speak up. I know we often get a very late comment from one of her fans joining us, so maybe he can speak up now and let us know. A little bit of banter going on in the chat as usual. Speed Queen, high gear, 7th gear, getting through the turn 22-23 section, and now it's just one major braking zone left to go before she finishes out this lap. Let's see what kind of grip she can get into the corner. Everybody choosing soft tyres, nobody wanting to take a chance that they'll be outside of the top 10. So pushing hard, again, into the pits she comes. Not happy with that lap whatsoever. And let's see what Simply 90 can do. Halfway around the lap at the moment. Again, seemingly knowing the track very well indeed. And Yella saying he's gone safe with his setup. Well, what does an unsafe setup look like, Yella? Tell us what constitutes a safe setup. Is that tyre wear? Simply 90 invalidates, unfortunately, his lap right now. Livingwall has retired from the session. Unfortunately, we only have 13 warriors out there battling in this F1 qualifying session. Livingwall will start from the back, unfortunately. Yeah, lots of disagreement in the live chat about opinions about Jeddah versus Monaco versus Singapore, which is better, which is worse. But we're certainly going to soak up all of those street tracks in this season, currently with Invictus Racing League, and I know that you're all stoked for a new race. You all missed us, didn't you, Monday and Tuesday last week, and of course every day of the week. I'm sure you're all tuning in every week. Of course, subscribe to the channel for us. Like the video today, please. I won't bug you if I feel like I've got a good representative number of likes already. If we hit 20 likes before race start, I won't mention it again. How about that? Taking L's then on an out lap. Matty's currently on a fast lap, I believe, and let's see what he's got underneath him in the AlphaTauri. Yella saying he had a much faster setup for the car, but he's here for better consistency. So thanks, Yella. That's really kind of you. I was kind of anticipating you would tell us where to go when I asked you what the setup balance was like. But you've been very generous to talk us through that. Very good of you. And Smoke says it's less rear wing, so a better straight line speed potentially is easier for the race conditions. 44 comments, guys. That's so well so well appreciated. Thank you for that. And Rent says, Yella, why aren't you challenging Helm and pushing him hard? Helm currently has the pole position. Matty goes P9 at 28.518. And the two Williams are out on track at the moment, setting times. Line astern almost. Certainly together on track, and taking L's is 0.017 faster than he's been before through sector 1. Max is on his lap as well, just beginning, and he's currently P2. So I'll join Max shortly and see if he is positive on his delta, but currently taking L's. We'll see him cross his sector 2 first before skipping over to Max shortly. Taking L's has improved further. And where is Max? He has improved a little bit more, but not enough to tackle Helm's stunking first attempt there at 27.274. Will we see a 26 tonight? Is the big question for me. We'll see what taking L's, what his lap turns out to be. He's behind. He's not behind a McLaren. My eyes deceive me. It looked like a McLaren up front. I'm guessing it must be Burmeister. And taking L's up to P2. So takes P2 off Max, who is on target to try and get that back and get back on the front row. Max very much thinking about the championship now, I think, and trying his best to try and defend his championship lead. And it, as we saw yesterday in the on-track F1, we saw it very much affecting the driver psychology, I'd speculate, of Charles Leclerc. Max gets the new pole position at 27.266. In qualifying, of course, he can absolutely go for it. And Helm is about halfway through his lap at the moment. And let's join him on board. The LFR driver, do we have any LFR teammates joining us early morning Monday in Brazil or in South America generally? LFR, let us know. Speak now and tell us that you're here, because we always want to make sure that Helm is well supported by his teammates. He's a shade faster than he's been before, comfortably enough faster to take the pole position. He gets a purple middle sector despite going well wide through that turn 22, 23 left right. And now down into the final corner. Ghost goes pole at 27.227. Slightly quicker than Max. The driver's absolutely on the ragged edge now. What can Helm do? Can he get nearer the 26s? Helm gets a 26.906 on his final lap as he crosses the line for the end of qualifying. Yella will go no faster. He's heading into the pits. And perhaps it's just Whale finishing off his lap. He's 9/10 faster. How much quicker is he? 1.1, but it's only 11th fastest for Whale. Possibly the best place to start the race if you can't get up into the top 10. He will have free choice of tyres, and it is a reasonably strong degradation circuit. 54 likes before qualifying is done. That was a tremendous qualifying session from our F1 drivers. Helm took it though from Ghost and Max, then Reshka taking L's. Yella, Speed Queen, Delange, Krigg and Burmeister your top 10, with Whale, Matty, Simply 90 outside, and Livingwall unable to set a time. But it's absolutely, it's Mercedes all the way at the front of the grid. Yeah, that sounds like we're still commentating over the 21 season, doesn't it? Ghost saying he doesn't care that Helm beats him. He's very happy setting a 27.2. That must be close to a PB for Ghost. Certainly in a proper qualifying. We've got a little bit of AI drivers crashing into each other. Hopefully Helm's mechanics can sort that one out and he doesn't end up with a penalty as a result. Yeah, the boys in the chat really enjoying the banter so far. Okay, I'm only reading one live like on the video, so I'm going to have to go ahead and remind you all again. Let's get it sorted. Let's get ourselves back up to standard. Helm for Brazil, for Mercedes, takes the pole. The only driver in the 126 second bracket, a 126.906, is your pole position from Ghost and Max. Then Reshka, and taking L's, a British 4.5, followed by the Dutchman Yella in the Mercedes on a 27.553, some 6.5 tenths slower than his teammate, but on a conservative race favouring setup. We hear Speed Queen third in the championship, down to 7th place in the Alpine, but she always moves forward in the race. Delange in 8th, Krigg in 9th, and Burmeister and Whale and suddenly my timer has timed out. Now that's unusual here in IRL, because we do have a delay standard to make sure that everybody has a chance to get themselves together. Welcome if you're just joining us. If you want to hear the championship standings, head back towards the start of the video, of course, and that's where I took you through the drivers. About midway through, I also took you through the Constructors' Championship standings, and there you've got that bizarre black line down the middle of the pit lane that seems to feature heavily when we switch to night racing here in the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia. And just checking in with the drivers' room. No major updates from anybody, unfortunately. Nothing for me to comment on. And then we have the customary pause between sessions, which is brilliant opportunity for you to share the race on socials, get your mates involved. It's always a fun event here at Invictus Racing League. And of course, like the video and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss a whole week of racing here, same time across the channel, different platforms, different divisions, but consistently high entertainment value for the Invictus Racing League channel through the week. You wouldn't want to go a whole day without proper F1 racing, would you? I mean, that would just be crazy time. So, Smoke already with the predictions, which is great to hear. Let's get your predictions in. Once you've done the obligatory like and share. How Max and Speed Queen, says Smoke, for the podium. You can only choose 3. But go ahead and drop your predictions in the chat for us, if at all possible. So just a few seconds to go before the formation lap begins. Burmeister gives the go-ahead, and we're almost under starters' orders and ready to get ourselves underway. Make sure you get that you get those predictions in. Of course, I've come to make sure that I stress that you only have 3 predictions, because as Smoke points out, Rents was very frequently predicting far more. But complete unity in the strategy options for tyres delivered here with our 14 starters. The top 10 mandatory soft tyre starting, and the bottom 4 have all opted for medium tyres. So medium soft will be the way for the bottom 4 in their strategy options if we don't have any major safety car issues. And of course, soft medium will be the opposite strategy. And I would venture to suggest that the bottom 4 will have a slight advantage over race pace by running that soft tyre when the car is light on fuel. Great to see 60 comments already from our friends here in the live chat. Always good to have you guys with us, and make sure you're following at Invictus RL and at WebORed5 on Twitter. Helm will lead the cars away. We will start with only 14 drivers, but hopefully, given that this is F1, we should get a good strong number of finishers. I very much hope. Rent suggesting that the drivers will mess around with a diff through the lap, and that the wheel drivers will favour will have a big advantage over controller drivers, and thus was it always, really. I mean, just the level of steering input control and feedback response you get on a wheel generally overshadows any advantage over using a pad. But there are a few tracks. Tell me your favourite pad tracks to help you. Usually they're the ones with the very predictable short corners, not the long, difficult corners to use. And they're already round to the final corner on this formation lap for our Saudi Arabian Jeddah round of our championship here. Reminder that Max leads the championship and will be looking to consolidate his lead and not lose too many points if Helm is going to run away with this one. And a reminder and a thank you to our sponsors, GridRival.com, Nailcut Hall, to Driver61 and GridFinder.com. And we're almost underway for us. Kind of crazy how quick we've got, and it looks like Ivan's telling us that Living War has very good time trial times around here, but we all know that it's not always time trial that seals the deal. 5 lights on. And it's lights out, and go, 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 they go from the start. It looks like Helm away well from Ghost, and Max slightly slower, but it goes down the inside. We'll go for it on Helm. Helm has the better run through turn 2. He'll have the Aston Martin on the inside, and they will scream down towards the next braking zone, and it is Helm slightly ahead of Ghost and Yella and Max. So Yella getting ahead of Max, getting ahead of several cars there. Yella with a fantastic start in the Mercedes, and it's absolutely all Mercedes way at the start of this race, with Max taking L's, Reshka, Speed Queen, Whale, DeLange and Matty. Whale and Matty making up places over their soft tyre rivals, which is unusual given the lack of initial bite the medium tyres have. So just underlining the strength of the starts for Whale and Matty versus DeLange, Krigg and Burmeister. Simply 19 or Livingwall making up the tail of the field, but all cars are on the lead strategy. They're all certainly line astern on this first lap as they get about 2/3 of the way through the circuit. Taking L's and Reshka go side by side, need to be highly careful of each other as they scream down towards that final 2 corners of the circuit. Now you've got Reshka very much on the defensive from Speed Queen. Speed Queen going for a move, but Yella on the inside of Ghost completes the move, so it's Mercedes 1-2 at the end of lap 1. Ghost has tucked right up though behind the Mercedes of Yella. Will have to do this on slipstream. Yella will try and tuck in behind his teammate and get a slipstream as well, as the 2 Mercedes try to box out Ghost from making a move and succeed in it just about. Speed Queen not quite there with the Williams cars, and Reshka I think is going to get taking L's as they go side by side through turn 3. The Williams team really risking it all here, very reminiscent of the Alpines in 22 on track, and that allows Whale to get right up alongside Speed Queen and take Speed Queen on this second lap through. So Speed Queen moving backwards through the grid on the lap, the first 2 laps, but she's right there. Whale has the favourable line on the way into turn 13, the bank corner at the halfway point of the circuit, but it's Helm from Yella, Ghost, Max, Reshka taking L's, and we ride with Whale, who has Speed Queen behind him, and Speed Queen needing to make up places. She is yet to get her first win of the season, and from this season and the prior season. I'm sure she is absolutely desperate for her first win, but she's never one to make a rash move at the start of the race. Helm leads by 0.6 of a second from Yella, who is 0.7 of a second ahead of Ghost, who's only 0.4 of a second ahead of Max, and it's super close racing here in Invictus F1 League. Max right up there with Ghost, and we'll hope that that Ghost slips out of the DRS zone so Max can have the advantage, as DRS will be enabled during this lap once the fastest lap notifications are done with. We'll get DRS enabled. There it goes. No one can really make a move just yet, but lots of pressure being applied, and we're really enjoying this from the drivers. Clean racing so far, and super tense, super close, metronomic pace from this F1 division. It's a yellow flag though into sector 1. It might just be a temporary. Sadly, Reshka obviously has had an issue. Reshka, the first casualty of the race, but into lap 3 before we've had a major issue out there. Let's have a quick look at Reshka's car. Is there damage on the vehicle? We won't see until we get a good trackside camera instead of riding on the T-cam. Come on, Codemasters, let's have a decent angle. We can't seem to get one. There we go. Yes, a missing front wing for Reshka. So there may be debris on the circuit, but the Mercedes pair out and away at the front have now gapped Ghost sufficiently to invalidate any DRS streams he might have. How can Ghost catch up? He's just presumably got a warning there for that that trip across the main curve of turn 24, 25. And they will now go down towards the DRS detection zone. I think Ghost will be just outside of it, and Max will be within DRS. No, I think Ghost might have just got it. Let's ride with Max and see if Ghost has actually got that DRS. I think he was just outside of it, so Max will now go for it. But I think Whale alongside Speed Queen once again. Whale has the advantage, but so does the Red Bull of DeLange, who comes down the inside of both of them. DeLange might get both cars in one corner. Yes, he does. And Speed Queen tries to go around the outside. She takes Whale very well indeed. and Speed Queen holding onto her position, but DeLonge got past both of them, and Whale losing out on that particular exchange. And then we've got Prix entering very closely behind his teammate Matty, but up at the front, Helm continues to lead from Yella. And Ghost, Max taking L's, DeLonge, Speed Queen, Whale, Burmeister and Matty, your top 10. DeLonge slipping back behind Speed Queen as they enter turn 13. That was the little DRS zone on the way into the bank corner turn 13, and the race is split into 3. You've got the top 4. You've got taking L's on his own, and then you've got everybody else pretty much, and just Reshka running around slightly behind after the pit stop, but he may get a good undercut here. Reshka has gone onto medium tyres off the softs. I'm sure that will mean he will pit again. Slightly surprised to see him not bank on a hard tyre run, but it is fast and frantic stuff here in the Jeddah circuit, and fantastic stuff. We're already 4 and 2/3 laps deep into this race, and Whale gets the first penalty. Still Speed Queen very much on the defensive. Let's cut over to Max though, who's got DRS and challenging for the podium. He's got Ghost defending to the inside. Ghost hangs out on the apex of turn 1. Max forcefully elbows out. Uncharacteristic from Max, but he's decisively past Ghost and discouraging Ghost from having a response. Ghost will definitely think twice about going wheel to wheel with Max again. Max is in a feisty mood and very keen to cut his losses against the Mercedes pairing. We know that if Max has got any strength against Helm and Yella, it is his consistency and his lack of mistakes. So albeit with the with one major race prior to discount from that, Max has been the model of consistency for the last 2 seasons here in IRL's F1. And Rent's saying this is a really fast race, and you're absolutely on it, Rents. This really is frenetic stuff out there. Max starting to try and drop Ghost if at all possible, and I think he's managing it, but we've got a nice tight fight here between 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. That is DeLonge, Speed Queen, Whale, Burmeister and Matty, followed by Prix behind. Speed Queen ducks out of the slipstream of DeLonge, can't quite get the job done, but goes for a super wide entry to the final corner. Oh, big power oversteer from Whale. That will help Speed Queen only focus forward on DeLonge and successfully getting by before the braking zone for turn 1. Speed Queen forever forward and up to P6, and next target up the road, taking L's some 2 seconds further up the road though, and she'll be focused fully on that, I'm sure. Happy indeed to have dropped DeLonge now and distancing herself, unlocking the speed out of that championship leading Alpine driver, and that's fantastic race so far. 3-second time penalty for Matty. I think that's a 3-second time penalty for Whale as well, as we have a quick look at position change. It's Yella up 4 places from the start, Living Wall up 3, Reshka unfortunately down 10, but everybody else just about close to where they started. Tremendous race so far from these drivers, and we're really enjoying it, aren't we, already. So the tyre reminder that Whale, Living Wall, Matty and Simply 90 all started on the medium tyre and be waiting for the pit stops of the soft runners, who will see how far and how deep they can get into this race. DeLonge not happy to let Speed Queen go, and not willing to let her go at all. He's got the DRS open, and that will of course help him stay in her wheel tracks. Ghost likewise still in the wheel tracks. Living Wall makes a move on Prix, I believe. Let's have a quick look at that one. Living Wall successfully passed, but will give up the DRS zone, and let's just check out Ghost, as he's got a 0.4 of a second gap to Max. Doesn't quite make it into turn 1. Speed Queen the defense onto turn 1, thanks to the DRS being awarded to DeLonge, and down the inside very optimistically comes Burmeister onto DeLonge, and he's entering this battle for 6th place, led by Speed Queen, DeLonge, Burmeister and Whale, all very close behind. Living Wall having made up plenty of places, but is 1.2 seconds back behind Whale at this stage. The Mercedes drivers really having it their own way at this stage, 1.8 seconds ahead of Max, and sharing the DRS load at this stage. Yeah, Rent's asking Smoke, who's going to go longest on the mediums? That's a very good question indeed. I wouldn't be surprised to see that would be Living Wall. That would be my vote if you're interested. And I think that in terms of tyre life on the softs, I would be... my guess would be that Speed Queen will make it furthest into this race on the soft tyres. But let me know your current estimation. Smoke predicts Living Wall as well, so might possibly agree with me. 84 comments, tremendous as usual, and we thank you so much for your engagement. Speed Queen is defending from Delange, who is on the outside, caught out slightly now from Burmeister, who tries to stick his nose up. Burmeister not shy of losing a front wing or two tonight. But of course the DRS train in effect. Delange tries to go around the outside, successfully goes around the outside, and Burmeister tries to do exactly the same thing on Speed Queen. Speed Queen's going to need to leave a gap to the inside. She just about survives turn 2, only losing the one place to Delange, but that got very risky indeed into turn 1 on lap 8. Helm leads from Yella and Max. Ghost taking L's, and we just saw Delange take the place of Speed Queen. Burmeister just behind him, and Whale and Living Wall, and Simply 90 as well. Simply 90 hasn't picked up a penalty yet, and that's got to be some kind of a record for him. So clearly prioritising that as the main learning objective for the season. The midfield super tight. You'll forgive me for not watching the lead too closely, because I don't think the Mercedes drivers are going to be troubled by Max at this early stage. In fact, Max more likely to be troubled by Ghost, who is holding within half a second, now within a third of a second to Max here. Let's see how deep the guys can go. Ren says Burr is doing really well. He's not going to curse him, right? I'm surprised, you see, that we don't have Kuipers, Burmeister's brother-in-law, with us supporting him. Because Burr's always here to support Kuipers with both his attendance and his setups. Helm dives into the pits. Yella and Max and Ghost come into the pits. Max with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane and losing out on track position as well. Big deal for Max, our championship leader. Very uncharacteristic of him, but it is a tricky pit lane entry, and I think he's lost out to Ghost by the look of things in the pit lane as well. So double penalty almost really for Max, getting a pit lane speed penalty and losing track position to his rival Ghost at this stage. So Max has got a lot of work to do to get himself secure on the podium, with Yella up ahead of both of them, getting through the pit lane comfortably. Will he actually end up undercutting his teammate? We're 8 laps deep, make it 9 for the leader. Helm from taking L's now, and Speed Queen and Delange swapping places. Speed Queen down the inside. She likes that move into turn 13, doesn't she? It's the second time we've seen her make that slightly unusual move into turn 13, catching the drivers napping, but they're still side by side as they go into the next few corners. Speed Queen just about positioning herself correctly through the corner and holding on to the place she gained in turn 13. It's now Whale on Delange, and they'll run side by side, and it's a beautiful circuit for side by side action, particularly in the game. Whale getting past Delange, and now Delange has to worry about his teammate just behind, who's on the better tyre. So the soft tyre is definitely fading at this stage. Will Helm go into the pits on the next run? Whale gets by Speed Queen. I think Speed Queen might have let Whale go there because he was slightly too far back. I think she wants the DRS, and she's actually headed into the pits with DRS. That will cause an additional braking demand on the car. Into the pit she goes, so does Helm, and let's see where Helm manages to feed back out. I think, wow, look at this, as Yella, I think, is going to get Helm on the way out. Let's see. I think he did he? No, Yella is some 1.5 seconds behind. The shortcut way out of the pits, obviously making a big difference to the car. So looks like the undercut not very functional for the drivers, but Ghost and Max managed to get past Ghost on that previous lap, but he is certainly not going to shake Ghost anytime soon. Smoke says Burr is going to jump them, and Burr may well do. It looks like the overcut maybe slightly more powerful, but maybe that's more to do with the traffic that the drivers have incurred on their outlaps. It's shaken the order up a little bit. Whale on the medium tyre, because he started on those medium tyres from Living Wall and Simply 90. Hold the lead at the moment, having not stopped. But Helm has got Matty between himself and Yella. Yella will be keen to get rid of Matty very quickly. Then Max, Ghost taking L's, Burmeister, Speed Queen, Delange, Krigg and Reschke. Your 14 runners still running in this race. Reschke still some distance behind, getting another penalty as well. And be looking to try and take advantage of any full course yellows we might have, as down the inside of, round the outside goes Yella of Matty. And Yella back up to the de facto second place behind his teammate Helm. We're 10 laps into this 25 lap race, and we're waiting for the first pit stops from the medium runners. Smoke saying that Helm used all of his ERS on his in-lap. So obviously trying to defend the lead, and successfully did so. Helm typically does not use his ERS for the first half or 3/4 of the race. 100 comments from all of you guys already, particularly Smoke and Rents. Jim says that so Jim says he's here for Burmeister. I still haven't heard from Speed Queen's #1 fan, who joins us usually late into the race. Do speak up if you're here for Speed Queen. Need to know who's here supporting. I don't see a lot of support for our championship leader Max either, and hopefully he's won some people over with his performances in the last 2 seasons. Delange gets a penalty, unfortunately, down there in 12th place at the moment, and now Helm has got terrible traffic behind Simply 90 and Whale, the Haas pair, on the old medium tyres, and this is really affecting Helm's overall race pace, and he's getting very, very stressed behind Simply 90. The DRS will open now as they go through into the final couple of corners of the racetrack. Simply 90 defending the inside, as he's got every right to do, frankly, and then puts a squeeze on Helm, who's got to be super careful. He takes a wide entry into the final corner. He's got to deal with these kindly to him are definitely back markers. He's got the DRS open, but so is everybody around him except for the leading Red Bull of this group. And there we go. Whale gets past Living Wall, Helm gets past Living Wall and Simply 90, and now Helm has just got the 1 car ahead. A good lap for Whale there at that time, and he's currently got the lead of the race, but on older medium tyres, trying to get through to run about 8 or 9 laps remaining of this race. But Helm will blast by him, I'm sure, in the next opportunity. Helm, the leading Mercedes driver here, definitely the pace leader of this season, but his consistency and attendance hasn't always been quite what Max's has been, which is why Max continues to lead this championship and may well continue to do so after this race. He's currently running P8 though, half a second behind Ghost, and his race-long battle with Ghost continues, and that's where our championship leader currently finds himself. Whale and Living Wall swapping places. Living Wall getting by possibly actually in a very unusual part of the circuit without the use of DRS. Cuts over that turn 23. Could be problematic for him, incurring the ire of the stewards, but we've got a very close battle here between places 1st to 5th, as the different tyre strategies make effect. So on lap 12 of 25, we currently see Helm having pitted against Living Wall, Wales, Simply 90, who haven't pitted. And Helm is actually giving up a place here as Living Wall gets back at him with the DRS. Helm not able to quite make it stick, but Living Wall couldn't get his way out of the turn 2, and Helm perhaps just being very patient indeed, and gaining that place back again nice and cleanly, as he needs to do to make inroads into Max's championship lead. Whale, we just rode on board with as he picked up his 3rd warning again and got another penalty, and so did Yella, in fact. So Max's penalty not looking quite so bad now that everybody around him, apart from Ghost, has also got a penalty. Let's have a quick look at those. Matty's on 6 seconds, Whale on 6. Everybody else with a penalty on 3, but Max has got that speeding in the pit lane penalty to pay, which is a 5-second penalty, or it will be taken at his next pit stop. So a big deal for Max. Could take him away from the podium as long as everybody finishes now. And as Smoke says, that's super risky for Helm at the moment, and yeah, it absolutely is. but he's just managing to eke his way past Helm eke his way past Livingwall on the DRS. I think Livingwall's just got back within range, and we've got a big battle going on as Yella gets past the two Haas drivers, but will now be highly vulnerable under DRS. He cuts to the inside already to break the toe. One of the Haas drivers, it's Whale, goes into the pits. That's quite early off the medium tyres. Still 11 laps to run in this race if we go at green flag conditions, and that will be a difficult run on the soft tyres, although he will be on light fuel, of course, back there. Max is still only 0.6 of a second ahead of Ghost, and he needs to be plus 5 seconds to take the de facto podium once all these medium runners have pitted. As the field spreads and the race, we go deeper and deeper into the race. Of course, the medium to soft strategy is ideal for the drivers, but we will get to the point where tyre wear gets pretty critical for everybody shortly, and then we might start seeing mistakes towards the end of the race. Rent saying Ghost really keeping Max honest, and yeah, Max certainly not having it all his own way. I wouldn't say Max has ever been dominant in IRL F1, but his consistency has always been key. He picks up a purple middle sector though, so starting to unlock some pace on the medium tyres is Max, and I'll be hoping he can get those to the end and not have to stop in the pit lane for 5 additional seconds. Of course, it makes no real difference. He's got to pay 5 seconds come what may. Gap's just opening out slightly. Let's go down the field though and see Burmeister battling against Taking L's, who has been running quite high in this race. Taking L's, who has only recently stopped. Burmeister giving up the position just to use the DRS. Here we go then. Should be nice and easy with a wide entry, narrow exit to the final corner. Burmeister breezes by Taking L's, but he earned that DRS very nicely indeed. Positioned the car well, and up to P8 for Burmeister, with at least 3 cars ahead of him still to pit. And we've gone at green flag conditions through this entire race so far. Now Max starting to catch Simply 90, whose medium tyres are surely nearing the end of their life limit. And Max has got the DRS as they head down towards turn 13. Max on the outside puts himself in a very vulnerable position because Simply 90 only needs to understeer slightly or touch the inside curb unexpectedly, and he'd be wiping our championship leader out. But Max puts himself on the outside, gets the job done, and has started to gap Ghost now, which is exactly what his plan is. He's got Yella and Helm ahead of him on pure race pace. Livingwall will drop behind them when he pits. Rents says that Yella hasn't cleared Livingwall and is just charging or saving tyres, so remains to be seen if that is true. There's no real harm for us to have a quick look at their telemetry, is there? The boss doesn't like it when I leave telemetry on, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind me having a quick look. About 30% for Yella. Has Helm got 100%? No, he's actually been spending quite a fair amount, but not as much as Max, who's down below 10%, the all-important 10%, where the D-rated light starts coming on. There goes the pit stop though for Livingwall. How far back will he drop? But of course it'll be quick at the end, and the highest placed soft runner at the end of this race is Livingwall, down to 9th. Back up to 10th. Let's have a look as he comes out of the pits. He's got his teammate, and I think is that Prix, just navigating turn 1, but as we learned earlier, the exit of the pit lane much easier, and now Prix and Delange will fight on. Side by side they go. Delange just ahead, and we'll be glad to see his teammate just ahead of him as well, and hopefully they can start cooperating. Livingwall picks up a penalty though, pushing too hard on his outlap, and that could be very important later on. Helm is racing without a penalty, as is Ghost, as is Burmeister. Speed Queen gets past Taking L's on her favourite move into turn 13. She's the absolute star of turn 13 tonight. I don't know if she'd consider renaming herself to Speed Queen 13. That would be pretty cool, but she's absolutely bossed that particular section of the track tonight. No one has come close, and now she's on a real run as she tries to get up the inside of Burr, the only Ferrari in the field, so it's nice and easy to spot. Gets the DRS once again, and they will go side by side all the way down to turn 1. There's a bit of a melee going on as it is Taking L's trying to get in the mix of it all. both of them have got DRS. Speed Queen potentially leaving the door open to Burr, but now Taking L's being quite greedy with those places. Will certainly be vulnerable as Speed Queen characteristically patient and gets past on using the DRS down the start-finish straight. Helm continues to lead on lap 17 from now Max and Yella. How did Max get ahead of Yella, I wonder? Unfortunately, I didn't catch that. But Max has obviously put one on Yella. Big deal for our championship. Rents is enjoying the show with Taking L's, Speed Queen and Burmeister, but as we watch that battle, Max getting past convincingly, although of course this is all about him getting the gap on Ghost, really, because of that extra 2-second penalty he's got. A reminder, he's on 5, Yella on 3, and Ghost could get both of them potentially tonight if he can hold on to their coattails. Doesn't even need to make the pass, but try telling any racing driver not to make the pass if it's there in front of you. Sometimes they will absolutely cut their noses off to spite their face. In terms of positions gained, Yella up 3, Burr up 3, and Livingwall up 6, and everybody else roughly around where they started, except for Reshka, who's dropped significantly back after that lap 2 incident. Lap 17 done, 7 to go. What a tremendously high quality race we've had on our hands so far. This is most unexpected, you have to say. Livingwall is on the soft tyres, so is Whale, Simply and Matty, and DeLange slips behind Whale, who gets past him. Let's see if they will continue to fight that one, as Simply 90 gets past DeLange as well. So the Haas drivers very much line astern, both getting past DeLange, who loses 2 places to the soft tyre shod Haas team, and certainly Simply 90 on the younger softs as well. They come up next to the sister car of DeLange, that is the Alpha Tauri of Prix, and it's still super close here between P5, 6 and 7, Speed Queen, Else and Burmeister. It's also close between Max and Yella. Yella isn't going to let Max get past, and as Smoke says, Livingwall coming in on Burr now. Well, he's approaching, but at the moment Burr is the man second most likely, I think. Taking L starting to be dropped by Speed Queen, who's unlocking some pace out of the Alpine here. Now she's not battling with the other cars, able to slightly stretch away despite the DRS profit that Taking L's and Burmeister have over her. Max's lead over Yella just over 3/4 of a second in lap 18. So not far to go now in this race. Will we survive the entire race without a safety car? That would be very, very unusual around this circuit, but just underlining the quality of the drivers here in F1 division. It looks like Taking L's has overspent on his ERS, and now exactly as Smoke predicted, Livingwall right with this duo, and Livingwall cause on the soft tyres. Burmeister streaking on past Taking L's, and Taking L's has become Taken L's now that Livingwall is coming up very closely behind Craig, and Simply 90 get past Whale as well there, and these 3 drivers swapping places lap after lap. Looks like Max starting to gap Yella as well. I don't think he's far enough ahead of both Yella and Ghost yet to hold on to that podium, but time will tell, and of course they could still pick up a penalty. Helm though well away as the leader of this race, 5.6 seconds ahead of anybody else, but a blink and you miss it could be anybody's error that could completely transform this race. Taking L's side by side of Livingwall through turn 13. Livingwall has a better grip on the way out of turn 14 and 15 and gets his nose and tail ahead of Livingwall, of Taking L's, excuse me. So Livingwall up to P7 now. Yella has got back within DRS range of Max. I'm not sure he's quite close enough yet. And Burmeister starting to catch Speed Queen, although having a bit of a slow way through that particular section of the track there, that turn 23-24. Livingwall looking more likely to tackle Burmeister than Burmeister is on Speed Queen. Lap 20 complete. Hope you've been enjoying this one. Hope you've liked the video already. If not, get on with it before we see the real sting in the tail that's brewing Here comes Livingwall on Burr. They've both got DRS, but Livingwall with the better tyres should have the better grip under braking conditions and successfully gets by. Livingwall back up to P6, slightly over speed through turn 1, struggling on the way out of turn 2. But I think he's managed to get the car back under control enough, back on the racing line, and will now be hunting down Speed Queen ahead. Speed Queen on the mediums, Livingwall on the softs, and we'll have 2 or 3 laps of grip advantage before the enhanced tyre deg on the soft tyres will take effect, and they'll be on roughly equal grip levels towards the very end of this race. Here comes Yellow though on Max. He's getting closer and closer as these walls start to close in at the end of the race. Helm leads from Max and Yellow. Ghost, Speed Queen, Livingwall, Burmeister, your top 7 on lap 20 of 25. And Ivan says, he told us all about Livingwall. No, definitely did. Here comes Livingwall then on Speed Queen. Now, the Speed Queen decide to fight this one because she needs the points for the Constructors and her own Drivers' Championship intentions. I'm not sure she's got much to do though. Livingwall going around the outside into the final corner. Gets past. Speed Queen won't be too unhappy about that because she'll now get DRS that Livingwall doesn't get. And Speed Queen, we know, doesn't mind passing back another driver. Round the outside she goes. Although I don't think she'll have it under the brakes, as there you can see the better braking performance of the Red Bull on the soft tyres. Livingwall up to P5 and with a very, very strong race pace so far. And let's have a look at the position change. Livingwall up 9, and there he is with his TT pace, as Ivan pointed out for us. He's also managing to pick up those places. I'm not sure he will get 9 seconds up the road to Ghost just yet, and he's also got a penalty which Speed Queen will certainly be aware of in the cockpit. Very unusual to see Speed Queen pick up a penalty, and it's proved to be true today as well. Yellow still behind Max, still within that penalty range of Max, as well. Ghost is well within range of both of their penalties, so Ghost could well end up second on the podium today, and it'll be close between Max and Yellow. Still those 2 seconds of difference between the penalties. No, in fact Yellow's picked up another one, so it looks like Max will probably manage to hold on to the podium, but I think Ghost will get them both if he can just stay within that range of the Max penalty. And there, Smoke says, smart move would be Speed Queen using Livingwall as a tow. Well, I certainly wouldn't put that past Speed Queen. She's not one, as I mentioned before, to make rash moves in a race. Very calm and very patient. She is fueled by tea, Speed Queen, and we know that doesn't tend to make for a particularly hot-headed driver. If you're drinking tea, you're generally a pretty chill person, I think. Here comes Simply 90 on Whale. And they continue to trade places, the Haas team, and still managed to keep this pretty clean. Reshka would have been almost betting the house on the fact that there would be a safety car today to rescue his race. Unfortunately, that's not proving to be true. Could I show the strategies at the end? Do you mean stops made? Do you mean telemetry? I'm happy to show a bit of telemetry now if that's what you're looking for, Epic Melon. Or do you want to look? No tyres, is it? Because we had the bottom 4 cars started on the mediums, the top 10 started on the softs. One of those medium starters was Livingwall, who's made it all the way up, so there's a little bit of that for you. You can see the laps, everyone on one stop of course around here, especially given that we've had no safety car whatsoever. Lots of ERS expenditure. Now look, let's see what Yellow has got, who's now within half a second of Max as the race starts to near its end. He'll need to get a second of profit over Max to try and take his place overall with the penalties. There you go. There's the tyre advantage, the tyre situation, and basically just reverse whatever tyre anyone's on now, and you'll know what they started on. Reshka's going to struggle, I think, to get to the end of this race on those mediums, but he'll give it his best. There's 2 complete racing laps to run, And I think it's now time to turn off telemetry, turn back on to penalties, because that's where the big decisions are made at the end of this race. Burmeister catching Speed Queen, Yeller catching Max, or at least keeping Max super honest here, but no one is keeping Helm honest. 5.2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Let's see what Burr has got on Speed Queen. They're on similar tyres. Livingwall has gapped Speed Queen by 2.6 seconds, but Speed Queen knows she only needs to stay within 6 to get the 5th place tonight. So Burr not able to quite live with the pace of Speed Queen, despite the DRS profit on this lap in particular. And he's now going to be watching the mirrors, because taking L's has caught him. Delange might be within range of Whale. Whale having been dropped significantly by Simply 90 towards the end here. And Ivan says very proud of the F1 division for no safety car around here. Absolutely, completely agree. Very, very good performances. But look at Burmeister, who's going to make a move. Is he on Speed Queen? Tried to go around the outside, open the door for taking L's, who tries to streak down the inside now. Speed Queen is derating down the straight. They've both got DRS, the Williams and the Ferrari. They'll be right level with Speed Queen, where they both try and take Speed Queen. Down the inside comes Burmeister, down the inside comes taking L's. Speed Queen won't be able to close the door fully, but she just about stays ahead of taking L's. She's going to be very vulnerable though as they head down towards the first third of the circuit. Lap 24 is complete. Helm leads Max from Yeller and Ghost, then Livingwall, Burmeister, Speed Queen, and taking L's as we ride with those three drivers. Burmeister, Speed Queen, and taking L's. Those three drivers driving some of the cleanest racing so far tonight, and no penalties on the board. But still within those all-important 6 seconds of Livingwall. Speed Queen couldn't get the famous turn 13 move done yet on this lap. Perhaps she'll try again next lap, or perhaps she's just waiting for the start-finish straight DRS on the final lap. But Helm's gap to Max, 4.9 seconds. Max is to Yeller, 0.7 of a second. So Speed Queen trying to go around the outside. Is Bird deliberately giving up the lead here into the final sector of the racetrack? But Speed Queen getting around the outside, presumably using some ERS. But she's now derating down towards the final. Will they do that little bit of after you exchange on the way? Yes, I think Speed Queen deliberately gave up the position so she would have DRS on this final trip through. Yeller is is taking Max, has successfully taken Max on this final lap, but he still has an extra 2 seconds of an extra second of penalty, as now we see Speed Queen getting Burmeister, staying ahead, and taking L's, trying to go around both of them. Taking L's will surely get Burr, surely, as they go through into turn 4 and 5. No, they're side by side, and surely this isn't going to end in disaster at this late stage of the race. Max is going for a move back on Yeller in the middle of the circuit. Down into turn 13 he goes, successfully past Speed Queen. We know is super quick through turn 13. Will she be able to defend? I think she will, because Burr has slipped back defending against taking L's. What a fantastic final lap we have in store for you. Helm is just about to turn over the second sector of the racetrack, and Yeller has perhaps one more opportunity to get close enough to Max, but he's got an extra second of penalty. Is it worth the bothering? But yeah, there goes Yeller getting very loose through turn 23. Presumably that's going to end any challenge after penalties. But Ghost, because these guys have been fighting, Ghost will probably leapfrog both of them. Yeller down the inside of Max. Max does not need contact here in the final corner. Helm wins in Saudi Arabia. What a fantastic race we had for you, folks. Helm wins. Max crosses the line ahead of Yeller just about. But Ghost, is he going to get both of them? No. How did that not work? Max was given the penalty. Livingwall getting up to P4. Ghost must have picked up another penalty in the race. Speed Queen just nosing ahead by 94 hundredths of a second from Burmeister and taking L's. What a battle between those three. Taking L's, unfortunately, the latter of those crossing the line. Ghost is getting a massive penalty. I think Ghost has received a penalty completely undeservedly. I think Ghost will be reinstated potentially to second place. I would be surprised. Honestly, it looks like Ghost has picked up one of those famous 20-second penalties. There goes Krigg crossing the line, and Whale from from Reshka, who will finish the race at the tail of the field. I believe the finishing order will in fact be Helm, Ghost, Max, not Helm, Max, Yeller. Tell me what you think at the end there. I think, yeah, Glitch says Rents. I'm pretty sure Ghost, yeah, he's got the bug that gives him, I'm pretty sure he got a 20-second penalty at the end of that one. So I believe, as Anthony Davidson, the driver of the day, is given to Living Wall. 138 comments, tremendous stuff. And yeah, Epic said pit stops is what he wanted. So one stop for everybody, I believe. I don't think Reshka stopped at the end. Helm, as usual, class of his own tonight. 5 seconds plus ahead of the rest of the field. I think Ghost is the deserved second place on the track, and he will be who I would invite for an interview. I think it is Helm, Ghost, Max, followed by Yeller. So I will do their best to invite the deserved top 3 as I see, and they can join the Invictus F1 commentary chat room if not in the party that we use traditionally. And Smoke says he wants to see a photo of Speed Queen and her crossing the line. But anyway, Helm, Max. I think it's Helm, Ghost, Max, followed by Yeller, Living Wall, Speed Queen, Burmeister, Taking L's, and Simply 90. Then Delange, Matty, Krig, Whale, Reshka. Your finishing order. That's how I see it. That's who I'm going to invite to the podium. Yeller wants an invite. I'm afraid I'm only going to give that out, Yeller, if we've got time. But that is your finishing order. That was the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But stay tuned, of course, as usual, and like the video before I get everybody into the press conference. I have got to do this all on my own, so it's going to take a couple of seconds. But it gives you a chance to give me a question to ask each of the drivers in turn. Make it clean, make it friendly and professional. But I'll be there very shortly as I go back to the party to see if I can't get hold of everybody. And yeah. Just a reminder to our podium sitters that if they are going to join, to make sure that they have the IRL commentary box party, if at all possible, guys. And I will see if you can join us very shortly. I think you know where to find me, but if not, I will try and add you. Max has found where to go, so I know Max has got the right invite. Max, if I'll try and get hold of the other guys first. Let's see if we can't get Helm in to speak first. LFR Helm, if anyone has the ability to invite him, he's on screen at the moment. LFR_Helm with a J, yeah. That would be awesome if someone could invite Helm. We'll try and get hold of him for you guys. But meantime, send an invite, and Yeller can invite him for us. Yeller, you know where to go to get hold of the party. But meantime, let's see. Did I see that Ghost had joined?
Hi, I'm here.
Ghost is here. Excellent stuff. First of all, actually, I just see Helm joining Ghost.
Oh,
please hold off.
Yeah,
Helm has joined because I know Helm often has to speak before he runs off to work in the morning over in Brazil. Helm, what a win. Yet again, class of the field today.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening to everyone in Europe. Yeah, I don't have to work more because the summertime, the race here is earlier than before, so yeah,
of course.
1 hour. Yeah, I have 1 hour to prepare. So yeah, what a race! I mean, yeah, Jelly is already here, so I wanna to congrats him because he did a fantastic start. We were on a party up together and talking about the strategy and the race. So sad because of him, because he didn't make it that podium because Ghosts have a problem. So he took top 4 and still good points for Mercedes. But the start of the race, I mean, I did a really not a good start. I don't know if there was Max or Ghost, but he tried to pass me, but it was Ghost. I defended the position, And yeah, I tried to open the gap, and Yele passed the Ghost, so we tried to improve the gap to the rest of the field, and we did it. So he stopped on lap 8. We talked about it before the race, so he was going to pit on lap 8 and me on lap 9. And he was surprised because I finished. We were surprised because I came back of the pit in front of him, and yeah, I just take care to pass the guys who was in front of me, who didn't stop yet with the mediums. So yeah, Livy Wall was with a fantastic pace. I mean, I passed him and he passed me back in the other lap. So, but yeah, I mean, it was really great. I kept the pace at the end of the race. Max was with a fantastic pace too. Congrats to him with the third place of the race. And yeah, sad because the LA got another 3-second time penalty and didn't make it that podium. But as I said at the beginning, a good point for Mercedes and drivers and constructors championship.
Absolutely, yeah. Well done. It was a masterclass once again. I'm afraid you didn't get a lot of screen time because you were off in the distance, and there were lots of battles going on. But parabens to you, Haum, and hopefully you can get some time to calm down before having to go to work. But you'll go to work happy with another win and making inroads on that championship.
Thank you very much, man.
Fantastic. Well, great to talk to Haum. I will go to Ghost next, who I think did join us because Ghost, I think you did pick up P2 in the end. Is that how you saw it?
Yeah. The game put me a lap down, which I don't know why that happened. But yeah, the important thing was no penalties today.
Yeah.
And I had 2 warnings from I think lap 15 or so, so I knew I just had to keep it clean from then on. Yeah, it was a good race. I had a good battle with Haum right at the start, and I was happy to at least lead the race for a fraction of a second through turn 1 and 2. But I think getting on that front row was critical because it meant that I had a few laps ahead of Yella and Max, who were, I think, a bit faster than me on race pace today.
Tell us how close to your PB that qualifying lap was.
My time trial is a 26.8, I think. So I think on tight tracks like Saudi Arabia, like Monaco and things like that, it's often in qualifying you're quite a way off time trial.
Yeah.
So I was happy to be only 0.4 off. I thought it was a really good lap. And I wasn't going to catch Haum, so P2 was the best I could do. And then got a really good start. Couldn't quite get past him out of turn 2, but still was happy with it. And then the race pace kind of dropped off for the rest of the race. Had a battle with Max in the first stint, which was pretty good. But after that, he got past me once we both got on the mediums. I was toying whether to pit on lap 7 for the undercut, but I decided not to, and I kind of regretted it. But
honestly, I think Max's pace on the mediums through the last 2 seasons has always been very strong. So it's very, very difficult to beat Max on a medium tire, I think.
Yeah, he was faster than me on race pace today, certainly on the mediums. I was dropping off a bit, but I just about kept with them enough to keep with the penalties. I think Max's 5-second penalty, I was right behind him when he got it. I think it was a little bit glitchy because I've had that happen to me before in the Jeddah pit entry, where you just brake at the point that the racing line tells you to, and it just takes control of your car for a split second and puts you in the wall, and gives you a penalty. So yeah, it was an odd one. So I feel like Max deserves P2, but I'm still really happy with a podium. I think it was the best I could do today. So.
Great stuff. Well, congratulations. A strong performance overall, and yeah, we won't believe what the game decided to give you at the end. They'd look very sus. So hopefully you'll be reinstated onto the podium at least. Well, congratulations to Ghost. A great qualifying lap there. Took everyone by surprise in the chat because normally we're expecting Helm and Hella and Yella to have it all their own way. Max joins us though as well. Max, you led the championship going in. I'm pretty sure you'll lead the championship coming out. But how do you feel after a race like that today?
Well, as Ghost just have said, I think I don't know if it's possible. I think it is, but I will ask for the 5 seconds to be removed because it's truly unfair. I didn't understand. I wasn't crossing the pit stop line, and then my car suddenly stopped, and I had 5 seconds penalty, and moreover, I was put behind Ghost. So. Yeah. I think it was a glitch. I hope it will be removed so I can be P2 and limit the damage to the championship. Because I mean, Ghost, he's a really fast driver, an incredible driver. But I was so frustrated when I saw that he claimed P2 during the qualification because I wanted to be close to Yom because I knew that in this particular track with the DRS. Even if he was a bit faster than me, I would be able to put pressure on him and to continue like that. And when I saw that Gilly came from nowhere and had a wonderful start, and I was P4, I was like, this is going to be really tricky. So yeah, good battle, but Jam moreover shows us that he's truly ahead of everyone, and it's going to be really difficult to keep that advance in the championship. So we'll see for the future races.
Well, keep fighting. I'm pretty sure you'll have him on consistency and definitely on attendance overall. We need to change the clocks a few more times, I think, to get Helm to peg his pace back a little bit. But I'm pretty sure you've still got it on consistency overall. Congratulations, though, a very strong race and some great battles we really enjoyed watching. The one last thing to say is Rents in the chat, who's a very frequent viewer, said, were you saving your tyres through the race?
No, actually, I was trying to get away from Jelly, but I was gaining on him during the first sector, but he was always a few tenths below 1 second, so I was not able to chase him. So it was quite tense from the beginning to the end. But no, there was no question of tire management. It was just go as fast as possible, not making any mistakes. And I've got to be satisfied with P2. Well, officially it's P3. I hope it will be P2. But I mean, someday I will try to beat Jam. This is the ultimate goal, of course.
Yeah, well, we've seen he's not infallible. He does make mistakes when he's put under a lot of pressure, or he's got to come back through the field after a pit stop or safety car. So keep fighting, and always a pleasure to talk to you, Max. Congratulations.
Thanks
a lot. Ivan asks in the chat, Max is from Italy right now. Max is French, despite his Ukrainian flag. Max is definitely French. And we've got, I know we've got Yella waiting patiently, or Jelly, or Yelly, however you want to call him. I know Yella is in the chat. He's got a podium on the grid order. But Yella, the first question from Rents was, how much did traffic cost you in the end?
Oh, I didn't expect to be interviewed, but I was. We were planning to box me as the first guy of the team, but he came out in front of me and he overtook them very easily, and I was not doing well on the medium stint, sliding a lot. So if I would have gone for the fastest setup, I probably wouldn't have finished the race. But I think it cost me some valuable seconds because I think I lost like 3 seconds to Max. I was 5 seconds in front of him when I came out of the pits, and I think it didn't cost me any position in the end. He was quicker on the medium stint. He would have gotten closer, but maybe I would have been under less pressure and maybe one penalty less. I would have got him P3, but shit happens.
Apologies to anyone underage that might be offended by Jella's very Dutch language there at the end of that comment.
Yeah, sorry.
But tell us, Jella, what it was like driving that entire race without a single safety car.
Nice for once. Also in Monaco, no safety cars, but I think that's just built in or something, because you would have safety cars all race long. But yeah, I think it was very nice. I was able to keep up, and you have extra strategy to play with. And when there's a safety car and you're just past the pits, it doesn't really come down to strategy, and it also comes down to tire saving and your setup. So that was nice, and I hope to have many more races with no safety car.
Absolutely, the quality of the field is incredibly strong in F1,
Yeah.
and that is an absolute model of how to drive a race at the top division of Invictus Racing League. Very, very proud to be part of the group here, where we put on a display like that. So, congrats to everybody in F1 division. Congrats to our podium. Congrats to Jelle for getting very close to a podium. I'm pretty sure he will end up 4th overall. And a big thank you to our sponsors, GridRival.com, Nelcut Hall, to Driver61, and to gridfinder.com as well. I've been Webbo. This has been Invictus Racing League's F1 division. We send our best wishes to Lightning. Hopefully he will be feeling better enough to join us for F2 tomorrow, which will be same time, same place. Subscribe to the channel, and of course you'll have a week full of racing here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia. But until next time, from everybody at Invictus League, from me, Webbo Red 5, we will catch you on the next race day.